Drugs. People do them. Even fake people in made-up worlds do them. In fact, narcotics are just another crossover between our world and Tamriel. And they aren't strangers to giving their drugs funny nicknames either. Like Iliad Nosehash, Joy Snow, or my personal favorite, Giant Armpit Fungus. But that's not a slang term, that's literally what it is.
I once paid 3,000 gold for this fungus that grows in giants' armpits. I couldn't stand up for days.
In fact, a good amount of drugs people use in Tamriel are naturally occurring things that require little to no processing. Like the previously mentioned Joy Snow is a substance expelled from the blowholes of snow whales, which aren't the usual whales that we think of that swim in water, but whales that lived in mountaintops and swam from peak to peak. You won't be surprised to hear that the Nords hunted these things, but one of the whale's defense mechanisms was to sprinkle down their Joy Snow on them, and they got the Nords so high and giddy that they completely forgot what they were doing and fell down the mountain. It's really an interesting read, I'll leave it in the description below. Tobacco is another naturally occurring drug in Tamriel. Not quite as hard-hitting as Joy Snow, but it's still interesting that it's there. Mainly because it's grown in Cyrodiil and not Skyrim, which makes sense because tobacco is a crop that requires a warm, frost-free climate, which Skyrim is not. Another naturally occurring drug I'll mention is sleeping tree sap, which is just sap from the sleeping tree. I know, shocker. But this poses two questions. 1. What is the sleeping tree and why is it so special? 2. It's classified as a potion in the game, so are all potions drugs? Answering the second question is easier, so I'll do that first. Yes. Think of potions as prescription drugs. They are produced by people and made from multiple naturally occurring ingredients with the intent to treat conditions, prevent things from happening, or to make certain things happen better. Now, what is the sleeping tree, and why is it so special? Some say that a rock was blasted from the Red Mountain all the way to Skyrim and the tree grew from that crater. Others say that the tree grew from a piece of Umbriel that fell off, which would make it related to the Hist trees. Umbriel was basically a floating island city that used to be part of the Fields of Regrets, which is Clavicus Vile's Realm of Oblivion. So it's like it's not supposed to be here, but it is. I don't know. It's a whole thing that has to do with a sentient sword or something. I don't really get it. So I'll just use it to transition to Hist sap. Because one thing that's interesting about drugs in Elder Scrolls is that there are substances that play a very significant role in certain racist societies, like Hist sap and the other being moon sugar, which I will get to later. Now, Hists are basically sentient trees that used to be spread all throughout Tamriel, but now they're mostly confined to Blackmarsh, where they have a revered relationship with the Argonians. To Argonians, Hists are basically the source of life. It's how they get their social structure, their cultural rituals, and even their official jail names through a coming-of-age ceremony. Argonians are known to consume the sap of the Hist trees for a number of reasons, like determining gender, or to communicate with the Hist via visions or hallucinations, which are considered sacred experiences. The sap can be toxic for all races, so even Argonians have to use it with some level of moderation, or else they risk physical side effects. So it just goes to show that everything is bad if you overconsume it. Now you can't make a video about drugs in Elder Scrolls without talking about skooma, the one that I've actually done before. Well, not really, it was a skooma recipe from the Elder Scrolls official cookbook, which is pretty much just vodka, sugar, and fruit. Please drink responsibly. Skooma is a narcotic potion made from moon sugar and nightshade, a flower that's used to kill people, so I don't know, maybe don't do it. It can be consumed in liquid form or you can smoke its crystal form. Either way, it messes up your teeth, and teeth licking is a sign of skooma use. Skooma was developed by the Dunmer a while back, and ever since then it's the most popular, yet highly illegal and addictive substance in Tamriel. But it's tricky because moon sugar is a very important part of everyday life to the Khajiits of elsewhere. It can be used as a simple seasoning ingredient for their food, or as a source of religious communion with the holy moons of the Khajiit religion. They call it crystallized moonlight, so when they consume the sugar it's like they're consuming parts of their god, which can also be overdone. It can lead to episodes of intense shivering called sugar fits. So because of the Khajiit's everyday use of moon sugar, they have a natural resistance to it, but not an immunity. To all other races of men, and myrrh is a very addictive drug. But I bet it's tasty. Lastly, I don't know how to segue into this, so I'll just throw it at you. Since the Bosmer aren't allowed to eat plants as per the meat mandate, part of the Green Pact, they also aren't allowed to smoke plants. So instead they fill their pipes with caterpillars and other tree grubs, and smoke that and call it bug smoke. And that sounds gnarly. So, what have we learned? Well, to reiterate my last point, drugs. People do them. And then that's about it when it comes to the drugs of the Elder Scrolls universe. There are a couple more like the drugs in the Shivering Isles, but I don't like that place, so I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, go ahead, tell me what your favorite drug is in the comments. No, don't do that. In fact, tell me what your least favorite drug is. That way I'm less likely to break any community guidelines. So thanks for watching, don't do drugs, thank you and take care.